The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. Welcome back, Oh the Humanity. Chris, welcome. I'm happy you made it this time around. I just remember last time, like, you came in and then you were trying to do something, and then I saw like there was a look on your face and it just cut out, and I'm like, oh no, this guy hates me. Like,
I was here for like 5 seconds and I was just like, peace out.
Kevin, Kyle, welcome back. Kevin, because we were just saying, like, we were trying to line it up again to do this, and I didn't realize, like, I was like, they must have been on twice already, but I guess you guys only been on once. Maybe because I just run into you now when I see you guys playing and stuff. So
yeah, just the one time. Happy to be back, bud. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being back. Thanks for coming back. I got to tell you something. When I saw you guys play at Pouzza, it was phenomenal.
Thanks, man.
It was something like I really enjoy watching people see bands that I know and that I consider friends with, and to see people who may or may not have seen you guys perform before play at that what was it, Cleopatra or whatever,
Cafe Cleo,
and it was packed. It was so packed in there, like, it was crazy. I like to people watch, and that's one of the things I like to do is people watch people see bands for the first time, and people were into it, and it was awesome. It was a really cool experience from a spectator's point of view, you know?
Oh, man, thanks. Yeah, that one was awesome. We were playing against Frank, so I truly did not know how it was going to go. I was grateful that anyone would be there, and it was smashed out. It was a ton of fun. It was so hot in there, but it was awesome.
It was warm.
I do not remember a second from that set.
Yeah.
I mistimed an edible.
No.
And we were getting ready to, we were tuning up, and Kevin was doing the hey, we're Oh the Humanity from Massachusetts. And I think I looked at Teeny, our drummer, and I just went, oh no. And he was like, what? I was like, oh no. And he's like, oh, I know what's going on. I was like, yeah, we'll see what happens. And everyone's coming up to me afterwards like, you guys were so great. You were so tight. And I was like, cool. Yeah, sure.
The thing I remember most about it is I forget who it was. It might have been the stage manager or someone was telling me the story about how the hallway which was like the backstage area, was haunted. And yeah, there was a haunted hallway up there. And I don't know. I didn't see evidence of the haunting, but it was kind of creepy. So
I remember that hallway looking weird because we weren't up. We didn't explore that 3 years ago when we played, because the second time we played Cafe Cleo, when we played there in 2023, I don't remember having access to that green room and hallway. And then I remember having it and doing a bit of exploring. And it's I could see how somebody would think this is haunted, but I think that's just because the lights were out.
Yeah.
Maybe it was deemed to, maybe it was previously deemed too spooky. And then the spookiness level was slightly lowered, so we got access to it.
Maybe.
I don't
Perhaps.
know. I don't know. I'm just taking a shot.
My favorite thing about playing Cafe Clio is when you tell people who are like locals and they don't know that you know what the place is, and they're like, "Where are you guys playing?" I'm like, "Oh, Cafe Cleopatra," and they'll, especially people who aren't attending the festival, like we would just be at a bar somewhere or like at a shawarma place. And like some people would be like, "Oh, you guys in a band? You're playing the festival? Yeah, where are you playing? Cafe Cleopatra?" And they would just do this very serious, like, "Do you know what that is?" Like, yeah, it's a strip club. I know what it is. We have those. It's fine. But they had like, I remember having this one conversation with this girl on the street, and she was just like, "You need to know what this place is." It's like it's fine. Like,
Did they think you were DC Talk or something?
I don't
you know
know,
what I
dude.
mean?
It's like nothing I haven't seen at like the model, you know?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Pouzza.
This is
I
great.
can't wait. I'm gonna go back next year. This year's out for me, but like next year I plan on going back. I like the whole, like, the model of what that kind of fest is, you know what I mean? And I had a lot of fun. I really did. It was cool. I got to meet people. I ran into people I knew, and like it was a fun time. For somebody who, like, I don't like I usually don't like music festivals, but they're usually because it's like in a field with a billion people who are all on drugs, and like I got no problem. I love that part, but like I don't want to be in a field doing drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I like that it's in a city and you can do, like, especially a city like Montreal. It's like, you guys want to, like, I'm gonna go on a hike, because like the shows don't start until like what, 5. The bands don't start until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So it's like, oh, if I want to like go do something, or like, you know, like we all love Fest in Gainesville, but it is that thing of like, you wake up, you try to sleep in as much as you can, and then it's like, okay, we got to wolf down breakfast now because bands start at 1 and our dance card is full. Whereas like, at least in Montreal, it's like nothing going on until 5. Let's go get I'm gonna have a lazy breakfast, or like, yeah, go for a hike or go check out a record store or something. It's cool.
yeah. Now, did you guys get to check out a lot of bands while you were there? Like, were you there for the whole weekend? Because you guys were on, like, were you on a tour there at the moment, or did you go back to Canada to do a couple shows?
We went back. So we had just been in there. We had just been at Montreal in March, and then we did Pouzza, and then we went back up to Quebec in June for a handful of shows. No, so we did that as a one-off, and we hung out all weekend. It's awesome. I love when the work is over and then we're just hanging at the festival. That is the sweet spot, because like hanging out before we play is cool too, but it's always kind of looming in the back of your mind that you've got like a thing to do at some point, and like you have responsibilities. But like once the work is done, it's like, oh boy, now you can just go hang out with friends and misbehave.
Yeah.
So yeah, that festival's awesome. And like, what a city to have like free time in. Like Montreal is just awesome.
It's quickly becoming like my favorite festival, and like it's so much fun. It's like Montreal's a 5.5-hour drive from home.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
I don't have to coordinate flights. I can just like drive up there, get a Worthy Burger up on the way. You know, it's like, it's nice.
And the drive up there is beautiful too.
Oh yeah.
Like, it takes about the same amount of time it would take to get to New York, you know, if you factor in all the traffic and everything. But instead of sitting in traffic on like 95, you're just like cruising through like beautiful Vermont scenery and looking at mountains and fields and whatnot. So yeah, really, there's no downside to spending any amount of time up in Montreal.
One thing,
and if Pouzza's happening, then it's even better.
Yeah.
The one thing that I movies had misled me on was the border. Like, I expected like you know, assault rifles and dogs and like
that happens sometimes.
I mean, that's like, the southern border, sure.
Yeah,
The first time I crossed into Canada with a band, we were over by Niagara Falls, though. They definitely, I mean, we were like shitty kids, basically. We were ages like 18 to 21. And we had been driving all night. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and they definitely had us out on the sidewalk, and they brought out like the border patrol guy with the machine gun and the bulletproof vest. And they were like grilling us about how much money we were making and if we had merch. I think we probably had merch in the kick drum. and like why we had directions to two different places because we said we were going to play at a party for free. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they had us out there and did the stuff that you're talking about.
Oh
But
yeah.
every time we've gone up, probably because we're such well-respected adults now, they're just like, oh yeah, go on, whatever. But
You can
I,
tell.
I have had the experience you're talking about.
You can tell how long ago that story was because Chris mentioned printed out directions.
Yeah.
We had printed directions. We didn't need passports yet. You didn't yet need passports to get into Canada. But yeah, it is a thing from time to time.
There are,
Do you guys remember the?
go ahead.
Sorry, Kev. I was like, do you guys remember the last time we came home from Canada? Like
tell that one, and I'm going to tell one from Pouzza. Go.
We had the opposite end. The last time we went to Canada, we did like a 4-day Quebec run that Thousand Islands helped put us on, and we were driving home from Quebec City, and we went to this like really just tiny border crossing in like New Hampshire, because we usually go to the one in Vermont, like north of Burlington. We were in New Hampshire, and the guy, the border patrol guy, this was like not soon after like this was like in the middle of all the tariff bullshit that was going on, and like we have tariffs now, we don't, and it's like so it was like it was already really weird crossing the border, and we're getting back into the country, and the guy is like, oh, what do you guys do? I was like, we're a band. What do you play? I was like, punk rock. And he was like, oh, I'm more of a jazz guy myself. And I was driving, and I was like, oh, well, I studied jazz bass in college. And he and I had like a couple minute conversation about like Jaco Pastorius and stuff. And then he goes, all right, so yeah, one last thing. Do you guys have any drugs in the van? Just say no and it'll be cool. And I was just like, nope. He's just like, all right, have a good trip home. Welcome home, boys.
Yeah.
It was just like trying to not laugh at that. And then, it's one of those things we pulled away, and just like we all just started bursting out laughing. Like just the look on his face was just like, just say no. It'll be easier.
Right on. Yeah, when we went in, I was with Jeff Bousquet. We went in, and the woman at the window, the border patrol agent, she said something, and like she was talking to Jeff, and then she's like, "What do you do for work?" to me, and I'm like, I make sure refrigerators run. She was like, all right, see ya, get out of here. Like, because I was like, whenever I try to explain what I do for work, like, it's just whenever I say like, I work in the field of metrology, like I just make sure shit runs and it's calibrated. Like, so I was just like, I just make sure refrigerators are to temperature. And
there's never going to be a follow-up conversation like that. like that's never like it does not matter. It's
yeah.
When we were heading back from Pouzza last time, I was in the car with Jim and Teeny, and we got an unusual amount of questions. Like, what did you guys buy while you were here? Are you bringing anything you purchased over the border? Oh, you're in a band? What kind of band? What's the name of your band? Like asking a bunch of questions. And he's like, do you have anything in the trunk? And we're like, oh yeah, we've got some of Teeny's drum stuff, and we have Jim's guitar. And he looked in the car and goes, one guitar for 3 people? And like, it's kind of just a nonsense throwaway line, but it has become OTH lore, and we say it all the time. Like, we bring up that quote an unreasonable amount of time.
Anytime someone, literally anytime someone, one of the 5 of us is in possession of a thing, like I'll show up to practice with like a Wendy's bag, and somebody will be like, 1 Wendy's bag for 5 people, like it'll just be that. It's that.
By this guy's logic, every member of every band must have a guitar with them at all times.
Or two.
Yeah, or several. Who knows?
And like there was already drums in the car, so like the drummer should also be playing a guitar while drumming, or else it's just not impressive.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Are you guys playing Pouzza this year?
No,
it's they do like every other year kind of thing, right?
Typically, yeah.
Which I think is cool. I like that. It just prevents it from getting stale. Like, I think the one constant is like one of Guillem's projects will play, but it's his festival, so that's his right. Yeah. Like, it's like Manchester Punk Fest, like Danny from Fair Dues, like one of his bands always plays because he's one of the dudes who promotes it. You're allowed to do that. That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah. I had Gim on last year after Pouzza, and it was awesome. It was awesome to talk with him. You know what I mean? Because I met him up there, and I was like, "Hey, I'd like to have you on." And like, I love his music. You know. So like, yeah, super sweet human being right there.
I've had like less than 5 conversations with him, and it's always like, oh, he's just been a guy on social media or a name at the other end of Gmail. And it's like, when you actually got to talk to him, it's like, oh, this guy's cool. Like this guy's nice. I enjoy talking with him.
Right on. All right, so we're here to talk about the Ocelot Records reunion show, 10-year reunion, 10-year anniversary, or no, 10-year reunion, 10-year, I don't know, whatever, reunion show. I got to spit it out and just keep going. Now you guys were on the label for a time. I have to ask you, was Tired Ears, was that when you were? Oh, okay. So this is a cool little, I don't know, degrees of separation or whatever. So that was the first thing I ever heard from you guys, because I got it in Mark Lynn's record club.
Cool.
And who got it from Steve,
Nice.
right? He got, like, I listened to a lot of quite a few records from that label at that time, and we'll fast forward to Mark ends up giving me the record club. Now I have it, and I wanted to use your guys' record, Ground to Dust, but I'm happy I didn't, because you guys sold out of the first pressing, and that means you guys got the maximum you could get for it, as opposed to dealing with someone like me and having to go this and do that. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about, you guys sold out of your first pressing of Ground to Dust. That has to feel good, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Feels awesome. And then when we were just in England, we got to meet Dave from Engineer Records, who handled the UK for us. And we went and had afternoon tea at his house, and it was just a lovely afternoon. And he gave us the last 4 copies that he had, and then we went on to sell those at MPF. So now the UK is sold out too. So beyond a handful of copies that are still in Thousand Islands distro, it's that first pressing's gone.
That's awesome. Is there a second pressing coming, or?
We're talking about it. So maybe I'll be talking to you after we get done talking about that.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I feel like I always think of when I've played with the idea of putting out records and stuff like that for people, and I'm not in a position to at the moment, but I'd like to. But my thing is I'd want to sell out of a first pressing, right? That way people hey, this record's sold out. That's such a cool feeling, man. It's got to be,
Yeah, it feels awesome. And because it, not only is it awesome that people want to listen to the record and people like it enough to buy it, that's obviously awesome in its own right, but also these labels are investing in you, and so it kind of feels like we've fulfilled our obligation to them too, right? So everyone got out of it what they wanted to get out of it. So that is also a good feeling beyond just having a physical copy of the record, and some people own it in their homes. So just it's kind of a full circle. Great. People who want to own it. The labels got what they need out of it. We cleared our stock. So it's just awesome. It's great.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool. So were you guys, when you guys hooked up with Steve, how did you meet him? Did you know him just from the music community out here, or?
That I don't quite. Do you remember, Kevin? I feel like we were just kind of asking around, because we were recording. So we did 2 things with Steve. We did the Tired Ears EP, and then we also did a split with the Hideout. And we kind of recorded there was 5 songs on the Tired Ears, and then there were 2 songs on that split, and we kind of recorded them at the same time, because when we were recording Tired Ears, we got put on the Converse rubber tracks, so we had free studio time there, and so we just kind of wrote 2 songs real quick. And I think we were just asking around, we're like, oh, does anyone know anyone that would locally that would want to help us put this on wax, because we had never put anything on vinyl before. We had done CDs for our previous release, and I don't know, someone maybe we must have known him just through the grapevine, but I don't think I had ever actually sat down and talked to Steve until the ball was already rolling on that. And then I know the first time I remember talking to him was at Opus in Salem. He was playing drums with a band that wasn't the Digs, and like we talked to him about it there, but that was after the ball was already rolling on it, and it was kind of like, yeah, we have these 5 songs, and then we'd like to do these other 2 songs as a split, and he was like super into it.
Mm.
Yeah, we
I
met
met
with
him
him
in
in
the
Somerville, right, Chris? For beers
We
to talk about it.
Yeah, so we met with him. We met with him, I think, in the Middle East.
I thought it
And
was in
like
your
just got
old
dinner.
neighborhood. I
And
don't know why I
and we
remember it that
got
way.
well, we did. I think when we were gonna do the split, we met with Steve and the Hideout guys at Aeronaut, maybe in right outside of Union Square when I was living down in Union, and Steve was living up in Teal Square, I think. And yeah, so we were like already rolling in the same crew. And however it actually happened, he wanted to do it, and then we kept kind of became buddies with him after that. Like I remember going to that apartment he had in Teal Square, and like packing records before doing the Tired Ears and everything. And yeah, that was cool. Hopefully we can remember how to play some of those songs so we can do them at that show.
Yeah, Steve was super helpful because like we knew we wanted to to try to put out a 10-inch, but like we had at that time had never put out vinyl before, and really none of us knew how to make something like that happen. So it was awesome that Steve was willing to help us because like it was one of those things that felt so far away. Like none of us could facilitate. I mean, could we have maybe, but like at the time it felt like totally insurmountable. So the fact that someone like who had some experience was like, yeah, come on, let's do this, was
Yeah, he
awesome.
knew it. He knew exactly what to do, and we're like, "Oh, well, we want to do a 10-inch. Is that weird?" It was like, "Yeah, a little, but we can make it happen."
Yeah.
And then we're like, "All right, cool. Well, we also have these other 2 songs, and we had already been kind of buddies with the Hideout, and they happened to have 2 songs too, and they had and Steve had put out a record for them before too. So yeah, it all kind of fell into place, and yeah, that was awesome.
I, I
Steve's
talked
Steve's Steve's a very good dude.
I talked to the Hideout a couple weeks back.
Hell yeah.
That episode will be when we start rolling out all these. Like they'll be like one of the first ones that comes out. And nothing but kind things to say about you guys.
They're sweeties.
Me and
They're
them.
the-
Yeah,
they're the
yeah.
best.
They are awesome. Like I
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
We
Best
go.
band in Massachusetts.
What's that?
The tallest band by aggregate in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's like every like the shortest member of that band is as tall as I am, and this is like everyone. It's like, did you guys like? Is that a requirement when you formed this band, or?
We
You
go
know-
way back. We go way back with those guys too. Like a few years before, like Tired Ears and doing the split and everything. One of the first shows we ever played, in Tom's Basement, the Ant Cellar in Lowell, was with them. And I remember it was just a really cool show. And I remember, yeah, it was like after that day we just kind of like stayed in touch with them, and we were geeking out over a Strike Anywhere tattoo that one of them had, and we were buddies ever since.
Nice.
The first show I ever played with Oh the Humanity, the first 2 shows I ever played with Oh the Humanity was a weekend that we did with the Hideout. It was to promote the split with the Hideout. It was the first 2
Yep.
shows I ever played with you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's like I don't know. It feels like a family affair here, right? Like everything, like and I like that. I like that. And that's something I've always talked about with the music community out here, right? Everyone's pretty good with one another. Like I don't know too much. And again, I just know who I just fraternize with the people I know and like and whatever. But like I don't really see like a lot of like issues between bands like I've seen in other places.
Yeah, and
There's like a Boston loyalty thing, like Massachusetts loyalty, and you see it at the festivals like Pouzza and Fest and everything. Like we'll be talking to someone that we know from New York or somewhere out of town. They're like, "Oh, you going to see this band?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I gotta go see these guys." Oh, what do you mean? They're another. You can see them all the time. It's like, nope, Massachusetts bands.
You got to rep for the homies.
You always go and rep for the homies at the
Dude,
festivals.
I missed Strike Anywhere at Fest 3 years ago because One Fall was playing at Lucy's. I mean, obviously Helen would have killed me if I missed the set, but it was one of those, it was just like, oh man, if there's but it's like, I would have, it's like, well, you got to rep for the homies, you got to rep for your people. It's like, there's been a few of those at like different festivals where it's like, I've missed Strike Anywhere at 2 different festivals because friends bands were playing. Like,
yeah. I mean, even when I moved around the country, like to have, like all I listen to, I'm a homer. All I listen to is like New England music, really. Like it's and this is like from early 2000s to now. Like so, like I remember I'd be like, I was living in Tennessee and I happened to have like Faction Punk on, and they played like a Ducky Boy song, and I was like, and I made sure like I blasted it, you know what I mean, so everyone could hear it, like stuff like that. Like I just get like it's like a badge of honor when you see a band from home somewhere else,
yeah. Chris and I and Jim, for that matter, we all 3 of us grew up like within 10 minutes of each other, but we grew up in the Merrimack Valley. Jim and I were both from Haverhill. Chris is from New Hampshire. Were you from Hampstead?
Yeah, Hampstead.
Yeah, and like, but it was like bands like Converge and Cave In and Piebald were like literally the next town over. So it was one of those, just like, I always say, it's like, growing up, it's like, I always thought like bands were supposed to be from New York or LA. Like that's where bands come from, or London. That's where bands come from. Bands don't come from Methuen, Massachusetts. And then I was like, wait a minute. Is Converge? They're from Andover? No. The bands can't come from Andover. Like that's insane. Like, so growing up in that like Merrimack Valley hardcore of the like late 90s, early aughts was just like, yeah, most of the bands I do listen to are from within an hour or so from where I grew up. And like, that's cool. I like that.
I have like with my records, I have like, I don't know. I did this. I haven't finished it because my brain is too scattered. But like one night I was like, you know what? How do I organize these? And I was like, I'm doing like a Dewey Decimal Point system. Like it's so ridiculous. Like I have to use I have a log book, and then I have colored stickers.
You got to get the cards like in the library. You got to get those little card catalog things, man. You're going to do it.
I keep index cards in them. So every time I play the record, I write down the date that I played the record. Like
that's a cool idea.
Oh, yeah,
I got that from a guy who works for, what the hell is that? Goldmine Records, the magazine. Yeah. I had interviewed a guy, and that's what he does. So I said, that's a good idea. So I started doing that. Now, my thing is this: I have my punk rock section, then I have like my indie punk rock section, but then I have like, I call it like locals only, and it's probably the biggest part of my collection is locals only. And but like I will do stuff like like Dropkick. I have Dropkick Murphys records, but like they're in punk rock. They're not in the locals only anymore. They're too big, right?
I was gonna ask what your cutoff is, because like you're not putting the Cars in locals only.
Right.
It's like when fucking Aerosmith gets nominated for a Boston Music Award. I'm like, what? Come on, like okay. Yeah, I'm sure, I'm like when Peter Wolf got nominated for a BMA for like best male vocal. Yeah, I bet Peter Wolf's real stoked about his BMA.
Yeah.
Like, it's like there is a cutoff. There is. At what point do you cease to be a local band?
I go extension with it too, right? So like Danny Carney, Chainsaw Symphony. Yeah, he's in California, but like he's from Lowell, right? Roll of Tanks, they were a Lowell band, right? They started out in Lowell, and so like stuff like that. But then like I'll sit there and I'll like argue that the Talking Heads are a New England band because they met at RISD.
Yeah. I always had that conversation. Like the band ISIS was based in LA, but they all met when they were going to like Mass Art or something. Yeah. Like they all met in Boston, and Hydra Head Records was based in Boston. Like, no, ISIS is a Boston band. F you, because it's like mostly Boston hardcore dudes.
Yeah.
Like
and then I'll do that thing with labels. Like if a band is from a different part of the country, but the labels, in New England, all right. So there's a little give and play with my record collection.
It's like when like Seattle tries to claim like Eddie Vedder, and it's like, no, he's from San Diego.
Yeah.
Like, He's not from Seattle. He's from San Diego.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a bit of a controversy at Fest last year? Like we went and saw some band because they said they were from Massachusetts. But
They
like,
were.
They all lived in California, and I think it was like we were talking to like Daniel from Rebuilder.
It was Daniel.
He's like, yo, we're gonna have to ask to see these people's papers or something.
He's like, that was what he said. Because he showed up. We were going there and we met him on the walk, and he was like, "Where are you guys going?" "We're going over here to see this band." He goes, "The band that says they're from Boston?" We was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I figured like I'm going because like I'm gonna ask to see their papers. We got to make sure they're like legit."
Yeah, that's Townies. Shout out Townies. They're a great band.
Like they were good. They were really good.
Yeah.
But it was one of those just like, it was so funny that Daniel had the same like objective that
and he's just like standing outside in the pouring rain on the street corner. Like we just happened to run in. Like we are sprinting because it's downpouring, and Daniel's just standing there soaking wet on the street corner.
Daniel, Daniel, if you're listening, I will still allow you to claim Boston, even though you moved to Maine.
Yeah.
Love you, Daniel.
Right on. Now you guys did I feel like since you guys, when you guys, Kyle and Kevin, when you both came on, it was before the release, I believe, right? Like we were promoting the release. I believe
I think we were ramping up for the release. I think Gutted had been out, maybe Love Irresolute.
Yeah,
I think that was just coming out because I think that's what we ended up playing on the podcast.
Yeah, it was one of those. Because we were doing just like, Jesus Christ, we were doing like a string of podcasts. It felt like every other week.
Yeah, I listened. You guys did one from like I don't know, was it somebody down like the South Shore area podcast? You guys did a podcast out that way, and I don't remember what I remember listening to. It was good.
Those are buddies of Charlie from the Hideout. He connected us with those guys, and we went down to Rhode Island and did that pod.
Oh, it was in Rhode Island. Okay. All right.
Oh, we did the December 2nd, 2024. I remembered that. I didn't look it up on my phone just now. That's when we did that podcast.
Right on. And we talked about I know we talked about like the cover, right? Because that was a drive-in theater that was like
the Sutton Drive-In.
Yep.
It's like it was up the road from where I live now. Yeah. So
which has since been demolished. We found out. Yeah.
Well, I think it caught fire. And it was like and then I can't even, like when I drive by that area, I forget like where exactly it was now because there's like stuff there. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I remember that, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, where is this? And when you told me, I lost my mind over it because
I actually like that is the thing I remember from that interview, because I think as soon as one of us said Sutton, you were just like, that's what it is. I knew it.
Right on 146. Yeah.
Yeah, you remembered the route, and I was like, okay.
Well, I drive it every day, Yeah.
That was just a bunch of, Brittany sent us like just a folder full of random photos that were like not related to each other. I think I was like, I like this thing, and then she's like, oh cool, here's another bunch of photos from that shoot,
from that
kind of thing, that like, oh well, that's what that is. Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So so there was before the record came out, and then you guys, I feel like you've done a ton of shows since the last we talked too, like a bit of touring, right?
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah. I mean, you left the country a couple times, I believe, right?
Yep,
you just came back. Did you guys just come back too recently? Like,
yeah,
we came back like a week and a half ago.
Less than 2 weeks ago, we were in the UK.
Because I remember when I saw a post, I'm like, is that where they're gonna be tuning in from? Like, you know what I mean?
No.
So, how's that been? How's it been? Like, first of all, right? We live in really fucked up times, and like, what is the perspective of an American band that goes somewhere else? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it like sketchy? Are you like, shit, like we're gonna catch some shit over here, or?
No, man. I mean, no one, like, I didn't experience any of that. I don't think any of you guys did either. But like,
no.
I mean,
I had a few people asking like, what the fuck was going on?
Yeah, not in the, like
some of that.
What's wrong with you people over there?
Well, not like, I feel like amongst the punk rock scene, they just kind of get it. They get like, by and large, right? By and large, they're like, if you're in this scene, you're like, you're not a piece of shit, you know? I mean, you're going to have some people that it's whatever, but they kind of know that you're not down with what's going on, especially like the kind of the stuff we write about. So that, you know, and the way we present ourselves on the internet, it's mostly like, I feel like I mostly got it with just like randos in bars, but even most of the randos in bars, the thing you got, I feel like the thing I got hit with was just like, yeah, we're almost as bad over here. Kind of a thing, you know, it's like we're like a step down from you as far as where that's going. So like it's just that like, oh, a lot of people were just like, we see where you are, we're like on the fast track there, we just haven't got there yet, sort of a thing. So it's a little like, let's commiserate over the shittiness of our situations.
Tim, who was drumming for us, put it best when I was talking about someone mentioning that kind of stuff to me at a bar, and he was like, well, it's not like we're the only ones that were ever duped by a charlatan.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they've had their fair share of that. I mean, we're definitely going through it right now, worse than most, but I mean, it's not a unique scenario that we're living through or a unique playbook.
I don't even think it's a unique playbook for us over here. I just think it's like I guess I'm older than you guys, but like around like this, I don't know, few generations of people, like I think it is. And like, it's just like,
yeah,
I hope once we're on the other side of this, like people see like there was problems from the get-go, right?
Sure.
You know, and because those problems, like it made it so much more worse when this happened, right? So I don't know. Yeah. I've been asking everybody, I'll ask you guys this too, like how do you just fucking deal with all this shit? Like you just block it out, like dissociate from it, or like do you take it head on, or you know what I mean? Like yeah, how do you guys like kind of, because like it's one of those things where like for me, like I'm just, if I don't sometimes just like kind of step away from it, like I'll just be miserable constantly, because like I don't know what to do at this point. Like I don't know what to do. Like I have family members I won't talk to anymore, and they're like, and they try to, you know what I mean? I'm like, listen, like just you're not gonna make any sense. I'm not making any sense to you, so just fucking leave me alone, you know? So like, how do you guys kind of like navigate through the shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I've always been kind of like I'm not a political person, and this has kind of woken me up to like, we don't have that option anymore. No one has the option to not be political in this climate. So like you've seen us a couple times since the record comes out. I've been talking a lot more on stage about how I feel and how I feel about the current state of things in this country. And like prior to like a year ago, you never would have caught me saying that on stage, even if that's how I felt. It's just not something I brought to the stage. But now it's like speaking up now is more important than it's ever been. And I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or whatever. It's just true. It's like, if we're not talking about how we're feeling, then we're complicit. Like that's just, so I've been dealing with it by being more vocal.
It's also just like, as straight white dudes, it's that thing of like, we have a privilege that like we don't get hassled as much as other people, and like for some fucked up reason our voices are by a lot of people viewed as like more qualified, like, you know, like we're listened to a lot more for some fucking reason, even though we're the ones who as an aggregate keep fucking shit up. And it's like, I think you have to use that privilege. You have to use that privilege and speak out about shit if it's bugging you, or if it's a problem, or if like, you know, somebody you know is going through it, or, you know, to speak up for people who don't have that voice. And it's like, well, and you know, I remember when Kevin started talking about that, he was just like, are you guys cool with us, like with me like saying more stuff on stage? And I don't want to speak. I remember it was like, I don't want to speak for the four of you. And it's like, we all agree on this shit. So like, we're all going to fucking back up whatever you say. It's like, so it doesn't really matter. It's like, talk about this stuff. The whole like staying out of it, especially now, it's like, well, okay, well, I'm glad that none of this shit affects you. Like, good for you. None of this affects you. Like, I have people in my immediate family in my life who this stuff is directly affecting. Like, people that are very close to me, this stuff is affecting. I mean, it's like, you kind of have to talk about that stuff. Otherwise, like what do you punk just for the aesthetic? Like you think, you know, it's like punk rock's always been political. I mean, music has always been political, but like the whole like, I liked it when you didn't get into politics. Well, this shit's always been political. The Clash was fucking political. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole thing was born out of that. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. I hate when people like, obviously they're people who say that, like, they just don't get it. Like, they don't understand. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Even if you're loud and vocal about a thing I don't agree with, like at least like I respect that so much more than people who just don't say anything. It's like, well, at least you're talking about a thing that you stand for. You know, it's like, do you stand for anything, or are you just kind of this like, I'm just gonna just sort of scurry about through life and none of this is going to affect? Well, I'm glad that doesn't affect you, but it affects a lot of other people that don't look like you. So,
yeah. I had a band called Scarborough on recently, and sure, I was talking, and he was like, it's one of those things where people say, I don't do politics. Politics are done to you. That's what, like, that was like the big thing. He was like trying to be home. He's like, you're either eating at the table or you're on the table. Like, you know what I mean? So,
I think that's a Ralph Nader quote.
Is it?
I think that's like, if you don't get turned on to politics, politics will turn on you, or something like that. There's like some quote by Ralph Nader that's, I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. Because like I just like I don't know. Like it's tough. It's tough. Like when I was sick recently, so I didn't get out as much. But like I'm kind of getting back out there now, and like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I can just fucking deal with people today. Like I know I'm gonna deal with the best people, right? But like the people who aren't the best that might be in that place at that time, like I think about the younger Trev and how much of a reactor I was, and how like I would just fucking fly off the handle. And I'm like, as I've gotten older, like I'm like, you can't do that. One, I'm old, right? I'm old and I'm gonna break a hip trying to do something stupid. But like two, like I matured quite a bit over the last 10 years, 15 years. It took a long time, but we got there. So I know I can't act like, I can't act like that anymore and stuff like that. So it's like, I just kind of get like, I'm like, I just don't know what to do. Cause like I'm someone who like, I see people out there in the streets and they're protesting, and I think that's great. And like, I would like, if I went to that and I had to deal with like the nincompoops that try to oppose it, like I'd end up in handcuffs or dead. I just know it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be the one that like, I'm going to throw this guy off the bridge because he's, because he's a piece of shit. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I don't own guns because I know I'm not responsible enough to own a gun. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. Like, so I just kind of like, but like, I don't know how to, like, I don't know what to do. And I think having this platform is a good way for me to like kind of put it out there, so maybe people that think like that have the same issues I do, and like they can hear from other people like how they deal with it. You know what I mean? I think it's a good, as everything we talk about on this podcast, I think it's just like, it's good to be able to relate. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And that's better than nothing. It's like you're having a conversation,
Yeah.
And
it's good to have an outlet too. I think a lot of the problems that we have in our society stem from people that don't have an outlet. And so they're, spending too much time alone, spending too much time in their own head, sitting in the car, driving all day, listening to podcasts. And all of a sudden, their ideas that are in their head are coming not from the people in their community, but coming from someone who's making a pile of money off of causing like division within the communities. So yeah, having your own outlets and having your own connection to your community, I think is so important, especially as people get older, and fall into that routine of like, wake up, mow the grass on the weekend, go to work, and don't have anything that, I don't know, connects you with your community. So yeah, it's very, very, I think having what you have is very important, is what I'm saying. And having what we have with the band, and everyone needs to have something, or else I think that's where we start getting into trouble.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like the death of third spaces. I think they call that like third, like home, work, and then like the third space, the place you go to outside of home and work. And it's like there's been a million articles written about like the fact that those don't exist like they used to because everything's so expensive or everything's whatever. So it's like people don't have as many places to go that aren't just like bars or whatever, you know? It's like, I don't know. I think growing up in the music community, it's always like, well, that's always been my third space is like a show or a practice space, or it's like, so I've always just had that, like that built-in thing since I was like 15 years old, where it's like, well, this is the place I go to with like-minded people or not like-minded people, just people that I can like, that share this interest and I can get to know different people from that. And like, a lot of people don't have that. It doesn't have to be music, but it could be whatever, you know?
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. I've actually been trying to get out there and do things, and like, it's always been hard. Like I've always got like socially, and it's so funny because I worked in bars from the time I was 17 to the time just before I turned 40. And like, it's always been a different thing. You know what I mean? Like it's work, right? So it's like, it was different, but like when I went out, I would have like social anxiety.
Sure.
If I didn't have a task, you know, like it was like I went to this show one time. I got invited to this show out in New Jersey one time. It was like a house show, a big house show, and I was like, I brought like a camera crew, and I was like, I'll interview people because like I feel like if I'm not doing something, like I'm just gonna be like off in the corner, just kind, you know what I mean, like not just kind of not, you know, just not interacting. But like I'm getting better at just going out and interacting, I think, which is cool, you know.
Nice.
So, but yeah. Back to the Humanity though. Like, do you guys have anything coming? Are you guys writing any new music?
We're working on it.
Between us.
Yep.
Between us.
Yep. Now that we're home, we're gonna focus up and write a new record. We've got some songs cooking. Chris brought a pile of new riffs to practice last week, so yeah, we're chipping away at it.
Awesome.
I was chipping away at a thing this morning before I had to go into the studio. So
nice. There you go. Good, because we need more the Humanity in this shitty world. Because we bring it back. Bring the humanity back, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. Are you guys? So, are you like for the summer? Do you guys have another tour coming up or anything? Or
we're gonna do a couple shows in Canada in late June, and maybe some local stuff. But like, we're not planning any kind of like long tours for the summer. I think we're just going to focus on, and people get busy with summertime stuff anyway, camping and family vacations and stuff. So we'll probably spend the summer working on new stuff. We've got a couple of things planned for the fall that we can't talk about yet, but yeah, summer will probably be mostly writing.
Nice. And then on June 13th, you guys are going to be playing at Faces, a 5-band bill. I'm excited.
Bring your comfy shoes.
I might be throwing a like a bedroll in the back of my truck, and because like once the 5-band show is over, I still have to drive 90 minutes back home. So
where's home for you?
I'm over by Sutton, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
I'm in Whitensville, Mass. I'm right over by Purgatory Chasm.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm like in between Worcester and Providence. So. Yeah, it's a long drive, but that's all right. I love that place, so it's worth it. And
Faces is the best.
I've learned I've learned that even when I pace myself, drinking there does not, because like they're so potent. So I limit myself. I got 2 beers for the 5 hours I'm going to be there, and that's it. Or else I'm going to be sleeping in that parking garage across the street. So
as much as that, I love that place and I love the beers, but every time it'll be like third band in or whatever. And it's just one of those like, God, can I just get like a fucking Miller Lite?
Yeah.
Just because like all their beers are great, but they all start at a certain like percentage that is, and I'm just like, I just want like a Corona, I just want this like real cheap like lawnmower beer that's just, I can drink a bunch of and be okay. And they don't have that, but it's just like, it's like
even their water problems. Even their water has alcohol.
I know. And then like I always end up saying like I'm gonna have like a responsible dinner, because like that's always the thing we play at Faces. Like we have like band dinner before the shows. It's just a thing that happens. because we take our meals very seriously in this band. It's a thing I enjoy.
We do.
Shows are just a thing that we do in between dinner and whatever late night shawarma we're gonna get. That's all shows are. But it's just like I'm always like, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna like have a salad and like some like lean protein. It's gonna be all right. And then I get there, it's like, so like we're gonna get like mad pizzas and like wings and blah blah. I was like, God, and I'm just like
The
3 hours
pizza's so
later.
good there.
I know,
man.
that's the problem. And then like fucking 3 hours later, I'm like on stage, just like, why did I do that? I don't like this.
When you get pizza, then there's ride home pizza.
Yeah,
That's
victory.
important.
Yeah.
It's an important part of the night.
You need to order a whole pizza for yourself, eat like half of it, and then put the other half in the car. And then when you're driving home, you're just like, eh.
Or before
Kevin
the
and I-
last band goes on, you order a pizza to go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's what I-
that's a pro move.
Yeah, I've learned that because like I one time the reason why for all this is like one time I was like, I need to stop watching music like this band and I need to go eat right now before they close the kitchen, because like I'm like, I'm not gonna, or else I will be sleeping in that garage, so I definitely recommend the go home meal,
Absolutely.
I've done that. I did that in Detroit when I was on tour with Wilhelm doing sound for them, and Brian. We went to this like Detroit pizza spot, and Brian was like, we got to get like the big one. And I'm like, I'm not going to finish the big one. He's like, no, but you have half of it before the set. And then you have your victory slices in the van later. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that hungry, dude. And I did the thing. I was like, it was all right. I ate my 2 slices, and then we're packing up the van and we're driving to where we're going to stay. And then Brian was just like, victory slices. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Best decision ever.
Right on. Well, guys, listen, it was great catching up with you.
Yeah, you too, man.
When there is new music too, you can come back. You guys can come back. Chris, this goes for you too, because I owe you one for the last time you were on. You guys can come back whenever you want. We can talk about whatever you want. You guys are like Struggling Artists Podcast Hall of Famers as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, thanks,
Hell yeah.
bud.
We do have a bunch of new tunes written. We have been working on it for a while. We're just slow.
Yeah, hey, do your thing. You gotta do your
We've
thing.
set a soft goal of like we would like this record to be written by like Christmas time.
Yeah,
That's sort of and I think if we apply ourselves, that can happen.
Hold us to it,
If
Trev.
we
Hold us
apply
accountable.
ourselves.
Interview us
Yeah.
again in
Hold us
October and ask
accountable.
us how it's going.
I will. I gotta say, it's always a pleasure to watch you guys work, and it's always a pleasure to interact with you guys. So
Thanks,
I
man.
thank you for that. You're like seriously. There's a few people out there. Whenever I run into, I just get this big old smile on my face, and you guys are definitely one of them. So
Thanks, man.
I appreciate.
We
you.
appreciate you. Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you guys on June 13th at Faces. So
June
That's
13th.
gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be a nice time.
all right, we'll talk to you guys.
See you, Trev.
Take care.
See ya.